In the vast tapestry of Indian history, few stories shine as brightly or as painfully as the transformation of Emperor Ashoka. This is the journey of a king who walked through bloodshed and emerged as a beacon of peace. Imagine ancient India more than 2,000 years ago. The Mauryan Empire is powerful, wealthy, and enormous. At the heart of this empire lives a prince, brilliant but feared. His name is Ashoka. He was not the crown prince. He was not the most cherished son. Instead, he carried the reputation of being too sharp, too decisive, too fierce. From an early age, he solved political crises quickly, sometimes too quickly. When rebellion broke out in Takshashila, Ashoka was sent to deal with it. He crushed it with brutal efficiency. Whispers spread across the empire. Ashoka the Cruel, Chanda Ashoka. This was the prince who would one day rule India. After the death of Emperor Bindusara, a storm of succession tore through the royal family. Princes plotted, brothers clashed, alliances shifted overnight. Amidst the chaos, Ashoka emerged victorious, scarred, hardened, but victorious. The empire needed stability, and Ashoka took the throne. He inherited a kingdom nearly complete. Nearly. Because one region, one proud land, remained outside Mauryan control. Kalinga. Kalinga was independent, prosperous, and known for its fearless warriors. For generations, it had resisted Mauryan expansion. And for Ashoka, a young king eager to prove himself, Kalinga became an obsession. His ministers warned him, his generals advised caution. But Ashoka was determined. An empire is only complete when every border stands united. And so, in the 8th year of his reign, Ashoka marched to conquer Kalinga. The Kalinga War was devastating. It was not one battle, but a series of sieges and clashes. Villages burned, families fled, warriors fought to the last breath. Finally, on the banks of the Daya River, the decisive battle took place. When it ended, the Mauryan army stood victorious. But what Ashoka saw that day would change the course of his life. The battlefield was not a place of triumph. It was a graveyard. 100,000 were dead. 150,000 were taken away as captives. Countless others were wounded, starving, or grieving. As we witness the devastation of Kalinga and the suffering caused by war, take a moment to support this channel. Hit the like button if this story moved you, and subscribe to History Explained to explore more fascinating tales from history. Don't forget to share this video so others can learn too. These numbers come from Ashoka's own inscriptions, his own words. As he surveyed the field, the smell of death filled the air. Crying mothers held lifeless children. Wounded warriors lay begging for water. Homes had burned down. Dreams had been destroyed. And then he saw her, a woman kneeling in the dust, holding her dead son tightly against her chest. She looked at Ashoka, not with fear, but with immeasurable sorrow. "What victory is this," she whispered, "that steals the living from the living?" Those words pierced the emperor's heart. For the first time, the conqueror felt ashamed. He saw not a triumph of empire, but a tragedy of humanity. Ashoka returned to Pataliputra in silence. The court celebrated him as a great conqueror, but he walked through the palace like a haunted man. The cries of Kalinga echoed in his mind. His food lost its taste. Sleep avoided him. One morning, a young Buddhist monk named Nigroda visited the palace. He did not speak of politics or conquest. He simply said, "Victory is greatest when it conquers the self." Those words struck something deep within Ashoka. He invited the monk again, and again. Slowly, Ashoka began to reflect on everything he had done and everything he had become. It was during this period of reflection that Ashoka made the most extraordinary decision of his life. He declared that he would never again wage a war of conquest. He renounced violence as a tool of statecraft. He embraced Dhamma, a moral path of compassion, justice, just respect for all forms of life. He transformed himself, and then he transformed his empire. He built hospitals for humans and animals alike. He prohibited unnecessary animal slaughter. He dug wells along long roads, planted shade-giving trees, and built resting houses for travelers. He appointed officers whose sole duty was the welfare of the people. He sent ambassadors, not soldiers, to foreign lands. To Sri Lanka, to Southeast Asia, to Central Asia, and even to the Greek kingdoms. These emissaries carried messages of peace, tolerance, and goodwill. He carved his teachings on rocks and pillars so that people from all walks of life could read them. Messages of compassion, unity, honesty, and kindness. Ashoka returned to Kalinga years later, this time not as a conqueror, but as a guardian. He apologized for the suffering he had caused. He listened to the people. He ensured fair governance and prosperity. The land he once burned became one of the most cherished provinces under his reign. This is perhaps Ashoka's greatest legacy. A king who conquered land with violence, but conquered hearts with compassion. Throughout history, rulers have taken pride in their military victories. But Ashoka stands almost alone as a king who felt remorse, deep, sincere remorse, and changed the entire direction of his empire because of it. He proved that true greatness lies not in domination, but in transformation, not in the power to destroy, but in the courage to change. His lion capital stands today as the emblem of India. But beneath that symbol lies the spirit of Ashoka's message: peace, dignity, and humanity. Ashoka's story reminds us that even the most powerful among us can change, that repentance can become wisdom, that compassion can shape nations, and that the greatest victories we ever achieve are victories over our own darkness. And that concludes the incredible story of Ashoka, the king who turned from a conqueror into a ruler of compassion and peace. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, subscribe to History Explained, and share this video as much as possible so more people can enjoy and learn from it. Your support means a lot.